What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Forge Modding Tutorials. Today we'll be continuing with the Dimension tutorial. As always, my name is TechGeek1019. Let's get right into it. But actually, before we start, I want to apologize for not making a video for 3 months. I know I've been busy. Tennis, school, just the summer's been crazy. I've had a bunch of school stuff to do in the summer as well because I'm going into my junior year and, SATs are coming up, but no mind that. I will start recording again, and this is going to be the first video. I know you guys have been asking for it, so let's get right into it. The last time we left off, we were in our teleporter class. This is what specifies what happens, I believe, when you go through the portal and you come out the other side. So last time, we created place an existing portal, which basically what it would do is when you come out on the other side, you know how when you come out on the other side in the nether portal, say, it creates a nether portal that you're standing in when you go through the other side. That way you can get back to the other dimension. So that's what that did. That's just telling you where to position you in terms of the portal. So the next thing that we're doing is a public boolean makePortal, and this is going to have entity, and we're going to name it entity. And the makePortal is basically going to actually make the portal on the other side using the blocks that we specified, which was our sapphire ore. So let's start with a byte. We're gonna have a byte that's b0, and it is going to equal 16. Then we're gonna have a double. And the double is going to be d0, and it's going to equal negative 1.0 d. Okay, there's going to be a lot of integers and doubles right now. So we're going to have an integer, and it's going to be I, and it is going to equal math helper dot floor double. This is it, and it is going to be entity dot position x. So our integer I is obviously going to be our x position of the player. Integer j is going to actually be the same thing. And instead, this is going to be our y position. And then the same thing with integer k. And it is going to be our, as you might have guessed, z position. So there we go, to start off there. Next, we have integer L. And integer L is going to equal I. Okay? Integer I1 is going to equal J. This is going to be used in our functions once we get to them. And J1 is going to equal K. I have to put integer. There we go. Okay. Next is integer L1, and it's going to equal this dot random dot next int, and it's going to be 4. Okay. We are going to have integer I2, which isn't specified right now. Another double D1, not specified. Integer K2, also not specified. Double D2, integer I3, integer J3, integer K3. Oh, I didn't, oops, hold on. Basically, we're just repeating integers. Integer L3, integer I4, and then J4. K4, and then L4, and then I5, and then a double D3, and a double D4. Whew, okay. There are all of our integers to begin, okay? All of our integers are here. Let's see what's the problem here. Add a return statement later. Alright, so we got our doubles here, and we're going to start with our for loop as always. And it's going to be I2 equals I minus byte 0. Okay? And also, I2 is less than or equal to I plus byte 0. And then plus I2, because it continues. Okay? So, there we go. This is saying for I2 equaling I minus the byte, and then for I2 being less than or equal to I plus the byte, which makes sense because it's I2 equals I minus the byte, so it's going to be less than. And then you continue to go to I2, okay? Inside this for loop, we have D1 equals double of I2 plus 0.5 D 0.5D minus the entity's entity dot position X. So D1 is going to be double of I2 plus 0.5 minus the entity's X position. Okay? So then we're going to have another for loop inside of this for loop. And it's going to be K2 is going to equal K minus byte 1. Okay? And then K2 is less than or equal to K minus, plus byte 0. And then plus K2. And then we go D2 equals double of K2 plus 0.5 D minus the entity's Z position. So basically, as you might be able to tell here, it seems like we're setting up the positioning for the certain blocks. So like, you're going to say for this integer, whatever, K2, being less than or equal to K, which is the Z position, plus the byte 0, which is 16. And then you're going to have D2, which is also an integer, is going to be K2 plus 0.5 minus the Z position. So it's trying to decide where this stuff is going. Okay, there we go. Now inside here, yet another for loop. And it's going to be for I3 equals this dot world server instance dot get actual height minus 1, as well as I3 being greater than or equal to 0 minus I3. So this is getting the height of, I would assume, the player. And then you say if this dot world server instance dot is air block I2, I3, and K2, while I3 is greater than 0, and this dot world server instance dot is error block I2, I3 minus 1, K2. Then minus I3. Okay? So this is saying if this instance is an error block at I2, I3, and K2 at the X, Y, and Z, it seems, while I3 is greater than 0, so while the height is greater than 0, because you don't want to be standing underground, and this is an air block below where you're standing, then you don't want to continue past I3. So you don't want to continue. So that's going to break. Because if you have an air block where a block should be, then it's obviously not going to work. Okay? So, next, outside of this if statement, we have, once again, a for loop. And it is J3 equals L1. J3 is less than L1 plus 4, because that makes sense, obviously, because it's L1, and then plus plus J3. Okay, and then we go K3 equals J3 percent 2, and then L3 equals 1 minus K3. Okay, so we're just setting stuff up still. If J3 percent 4 is less than or equal to 2, then K3 is equal to negative K3, and L3 is equal to negative L3. Okay? This stuff is pretty complicated, so it's kind of hard to explain. But basically all this is doing is it's figuring out where to place certain blocks, as well as what to do if that block is not there, say it's air, then you obviously don't have the portal. So that's what that is. So now for I4 is equal to 0, and I4 is less than 3, then continue with I4. For J4 equaling 0, and J4 being less than 4, then continue with J4. And for K4 equaling -1, and K4 being less than 4, then continue with K4. Okay? So for all of these things, L4 is going to equal I2 plus J4 minus 1 times K3 plus I4 times L3. Okay, so this is, once again, setting up for positioning. And then I5 is going to equal I3 plus I4. Sorry, K4, my bad. Now, integer J5 is going to equal K2 plus J4 minus 1 times K3, just kidding, L3 minus I4 times K3 again. Okay? And now we're going to have an if statement. If K4 is less than 0 and not this world dot world this dot world server instance dot get block on the L4 I5 and J5 dot get material dot is solid, or k4 is greater than or equal to 0, and this dot world server instance dot is error block at L4, I5, and J5. Then continue. Label 274. Okay? And I actually forgot to put label 274 up here under this double over here. Where is it? Under this double right here. Was it this double? It was D2, yeah. This double. Label 274. There we go. Alrighty. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4 outside of here, we're going to say D3 equals double I3 plus 0.5 D minus the entity dot position Y. And D4 will equal D1 times D1 plus 3, D3. Where was I? I lost my place. Times D3 plus D2 times D2. And there you go. And then we're going to have another if statement. If D0 is less than 0.0D, or D4 is less than D0, then D0 will equal D4, L will equal I2, I1 will equal I3, J1 will equal K2, and K1 will equal J3% of 4. Okay? Okay. So, once again, this is all positioning. What's wrong here? It is 274, right? Label 274. Do I do something with this later? No, that's it. Don't know why it won't get it. Oh, label 274, colon, regular colon, my bad. What's wrong with K1? What? Where's K1? Isn't it right here? K1 is right. Where is K1 anyway? Is it supposed to be just K maybe? Where's K1 in this? Do I specify later? Is that earlier? That's later, isn't it? Yeah, okay. K1 is specified later, I believe. So, we should be fine. Alright, all the way outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If D0 is less than 0.0D, then for I2 equaling I minus B0, and I2 is less than or equal to I plus B0. Oops, I accidentally hit page up. Oh, no, wrong one, wrong button. I accidentally hit insert, my bad. Plus B0, and then plus I2. So for all of that, D1 will equal double I2 plus 0.5D minus the entity's x position. Okay. For k2 equals k minus b0, which is 16. And k2 is less than or equal to k plus b0, then plus k2, as always. And in here, d2, wait, am I looking at the right thing? Let me make sure, because this seems like it was a repeat of what we did up here. Oh no, this is in an if statement. Oh, that's why. Yep, my bad. So it is the same thing as we did earlier. However, this is saying to do all this if the hold on, let me I can't talk while doing this. Okay, and then label 222. This is if d0 is less than 0.0d. So that's why there's that. Why isn't it like the colon? Oh, because it's an empty statement. For I3 equaling this dot world server instance dot get actual height minus 1, and I3 being less than or equal to 0. Don't continue with I3. If this dot world server instance dot is error block at I2, I3, and K2, and if this dot world server instance dot oh nope, sorry, just did that, my bad, not if, I should say while I3 is greater than 0 and this dot world server instance dot is error block I2 I3 minus 1 and K2, then don't continue with I3. Okay, outside of here, we'll have another for J3 equaling L1 and J3 being less than L1 plus 2, then continue with J3. And K3 equals J3 percent of 2, and L3 equals 1 minus K3. And then for I4 equals 0, I4 is less than 4 plus I4. Okay. For this, and then for J4 equals -1, J4 is less than 4 plus J4. okay, J4, press insert again. K4 will equal I2 plus I4 minus 1 times K3. L4 equals I3 plus J4, and I5 equals K2 plus I4 minus 1 times L3. Okay? Now, what else? We have quite a bit, so I'm only going to go up to here, probably. Alright. After this, we have an if J4 is less than 0, and this dot world server instance dot get block at K4, L4, and I5 dot get material dot is solid, or J4 is greater than or equal to 0, and this dot world server instance dot is, what is it? What's it? Is air block. Sorry. Dot is air block at K4, L4, and I5. Then continue on with label 222. Label 222, as we specified earlier, was the stuff up to here. All this stuff in here is label 222. That's why there's a colon there. So, if we go 3 out here, we have to say that D3 is a double of I3 plus 0.5D minus the entity's y position. And D4 equals D1 times D1 plus D3 times D3 plus D2 times D2. And there you go. And if D0 is less than 0.0D, or D4 is less than 0, less than D0, then D0 equals D4, L equals I2, I1 equals I3, J1 equals K2, and K1 equals J3 percent 2. Okay? So, this all may be confusing. Where is K1? Oh, K1's coming up, I think. Was I supposed to specify K1 earlier and I didn't? There was supposed to be a K1 equals 0. Did I forget that? I did. It was supposed to be after J1 equals K. K1 is supposed to equal 0. There we go. That should fix it. Sorry about that. Oh, that should be an integer. There. That should fix it. Alrighty then. There we go. Okay. So, we basically set up a bunch of stuff having to do with your X position, your Y position, and your Z position, depending on where you are. We set up right here and right here what would happen if you were to try to get the block and it was solid, or if you tried to get the block and it was air. And that is what we did right here. So that will do it for now. There's still a little bit to go in this here method here of makePortal. So we will finish that up next time. Once again, guys, I am so sorry for the delay on this episode. If you did enjoy this episode, however, please hit that like button and that subscribe button so that you will be updated the next time I release a modding tutorial. Hopefully, I will be able to release them more frequently. But that'll do it for now. Once again, thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time. Peace!